Hey, y'all, it is March the 4th, 2020, 2024, in this day in history. Y'all, the big news is that Donald Trump can be on the ballot or some stuff. Yeah. Mm. I can't even pretend to be able to keep up with all this shenanigans and chicanery. But apparently, I'm told, and in fact, the whole InfoWars crew is like busting out champagne glasses and everything earlier. They were celebrating it, and apparently, it's because the Supreme Court had came out and said it's all effed up that if y'all keep Donald Trump off the ballot, it's all effed up. Can't do it. It's un-American. It's been decreed. So that I think, in an unsarcastic way, that's something. We can go ahead and celebrate tonight. Tonight I got a nice batch of fruit tea. I know it looks dirty. It's delightful though. I'm getting ready for bed. Getting all my implements ready. I hope you don't mind. But I thought I would go on live stream right quick just to see if anybody's around. If anyone happens to be around and they want to talk trash, I wanted to facilitate a platform for them to do so. But in the meantime, say because I haven't given much warning and people don't know that I'm up on YouTube and stuff. So I'm getting back up on YouTube, even though I don't like YouTube. Everybody knows how I feel about it. But that's where a lot of my peeps are, and it's kind of like real easy to talk to them in this sort of regard. That being said, I did want to jump on the live stream only just for a little while tonight because rest is very important, might I say, real briefly. Okay. There's plenty of things, especially in America. Speaking on America and Americans, plenty of things that they could use. They're not really taking advantage of to include rest. In fact, most people I know are always complaining and whining and this and that about their rest. I don't like complaining and whining. And also, guys, man, I hate to be harsh. I hate to be harsh on everybody, but your rest is up to you. Right? And the reason, like most people who I see, don't get enough rest is because it's not up to them. It's because other people run their lives. When other people run your life, maybe you won't be able to rest so much. I don't know. Let's just, like I said, it's going to be a brief broadcast. Let's just jump into it. Have y'all heard about this lady? I don't want to be comedic. This lady, I don't know too much about her. But certainly, I've heard her name a lot. You'll probably have heard her name a lot. And it took a while to memorize. I believe it's Laken Riley. Laken Riley, I believe. So everybody's talking about this Laken Riley lady, and I'm not sure. Was it from Georgia or something? You please excuse me because I'm not trying to make light of the situation. It's just that I honestly don't really know all the details. I haven't found them out. Probably won't do too much digging, although I feel like the situation is quite unfortunate. Chances are, because it's fresh, you haven't had time to forget. A lot of people already know who Laken Riley is, so you're probably already all caught up. But for if later on people see it, Laken Riley recently had allegedly got murdered as she was attempting to do like a morning jog or something. And allegedly, it's said, and now people are up in arms. Allegedly, it's said that an illegal immigrant, an illegal alien, who actually was known for doing some of this kind of shenanigans. He shouldn't have been here, but he was here, and he attacked this lady. And so, of course, anybody in the world could have guessed. They have any sort of sense. It immediately became absolutely political. That's another example of like things that should not ever go political, but in fact do. Like it's 2024, things will blow your mind. This goes political, right? And you can imagine why. I mean, 'cause so you got on one side they're saying, "Hey, look, this person, this alleged person, did all this not good stuff, very, very bad stuff. It shouldn't even have been here." Right? In fact, like this is unprecedented. This person shouldn't be here. It's illegal. And all these people coming into this country, and we have no say in it. That's what like half the country is saying at this point. Half the country who has any idea or awareness about them are saying, "We don't know these people. You need to stop this. You need to stop doing this." See, it's progressively growing and growing with people's concern. Right? Now we're at a point where like it's unprecedented where a lot of people are feeling very comfortable to say, deport all these people out of the country. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. You got a certain percentage of people who in America did not feel comfortable to just say, hey, get these people out of here. We don't want them here no more. None of them, all of them, get them out of here. All right. So it's became political in that sense. Right. Now, on the other side of that debate, I'm sure you would have, I can imagine you'd have people saying, oh, you just want to blame this on, you just want to make this political. And so this person so happened to be from a asshole country, and this some person so happened to have a rap sheet and stuff, and accidentally slipped through the cracks. Y'all always want to make it political, and their argument probably would be, well, there's domestic people. You realize there's probably white Christian domestic people who's probably running around all these jogging trails, and they're just hunting down uh, black female individuals. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. Right? They're saying like, oh, it could have been somebody else, or like, oh, just because he happens to be illegal, don't go blaming all the other illegals saying that they're raping people. All right? Gosh, man, I shouldn't have said that on YouTube. I really don't know what to say. So those would be the debating points. If you're being objective, might I suggest both sides have somewhat of an argument, a little bit, a little bit. The so-called left, who's terrorist, tyrannical, political narcissist, um, they just looking for any sort of excuse to make it not their fault, in which it is their fault. For sure it is. Then it's their fault. It's the runner Republicans' fault. It's all their fault. All the people making the money off the cheap labor. Yeah, it's all y'all's fault. Okay. So they don't want it to be their fault, the Democrats. So like even the Democrat voters are like, oh no, it can't be this. It's not just because of this. Stop looking at it this way. Right. It could have been. What if it was an American who was in the bushes and jumped out and bashed this lady's head in? What if it could have easily been that? That's their argument. And although I can see how both of them would be logical, I wanted to point out that like a couple of things. Like the left, the only reason that their argument would be logical is because from what I'm seeing is it's not going to be news to you. Is that just to reiterate, young men out here, and I'm seeing them all over. I'm seeing them. I'm scoping with my mind, or my eyes, my mind's eye. Right, not in a gay fashion, but I'm seeing these fellas, young fellas out here. A lot of them, and sometimes they'll talk to me. And sometimes they'll say the strangest of things, like Bill Cosby's show back in the day. Remember that show? Wasn't that a great show? But they'll say the darndest of things to me, like, "Oh, I wish I had a girlfriend," or "Oh, where do you find a good girlfriend?" Or like, "I'm so lonely." Believe it or not, people have the nerve, and they don't have no shame enough to come to me and like express that they desire for a girlfriend, right? And then I'm looking at them, back at them, like, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. It's because I'm looking at you, and I know the environment too, as well, in America. And the only reason that the left has an argument, so to speak, about, oh, it could be a domestic person that could jump out of the bushes, bash you in the head, and have their way with you. It's because that's definitely what we're generating for sure, all right? In a certain sense, and I just wanted to bring it up real quickly, maybe not spend too much time on it, but in a certain sense, it's like America is now a factory for that sort of young male, right? And the reason is because women are choosy out here, and we discussed it before. Like women, especially as communication develops even more, social media and all that technology, as that develops even more, and as everybody gets their preschool child a cell phone, and it's like standard issue, is that is something that's not going to change. And women, and we've said it before, quite simply, they can pick out of anybody in the world, dude. And I'm talking about your next door neighbor, the one, this little girl you look at down the street. She can easily go on the internet, and if she's attractive in any sense, if she's halfway attractive, you do not stand a chance, buddy. And as the days go by, it's even worse and worse and worse and worse. It's always becoming worse. And so, as you've seen, and as I've talked about before, it's going to continue to trend this way. There's no choice but to do it. Of a majority of young men being not only undesirable to women, but it's damn near and pretty much completely invisible. They don't see you, notice you. They don't know that you're there. You do not exist. Like if they're calculating their environment, it's like as though you're not there. The majority of men. We're talking about all the ladies, dude, the average ones, the below average ones, you're not there unless they're very, very desperate. So, what I wanted to point out is that you're going to have a large majority of men, the young men who have been gender bended, the young men who still somehow know that they're somewhat attracted to the female sex. Those men are not going to get any sort of action. All right, most of them, and they're going to be very frustrated. Now, there's always been a portion of men who simply don't get no action. There's always been that, but as communication and social media keeps ramping up, that that percentage only gets bigger and bigger, and more frustrated. Is that a reason to go hide in the bushes and bash some lady's head in? Absolutely not. No. But are you going to tell them that? Are you going to tell them that? See, the only thing good about it is that most of these guys, most of these young men are so gender bended that they'll probably just go ahead and start sucking each other off. Dude. Like, who cares? They're gonna go somewhere and suck each other off, right? Either that, or they're so gender bended that they couldn't ever muster up the energy to actually R word somebody as something that I never ever endorsed. I've never ever endorsed R wording anybody. I'm just saying they don't have the vigor to R word anybody, right? So that's the only thing they got going for them. And then also at the same time, like I mentioned before, there's a slight minority. All right, I want somebody to check my record on this, dude. There's a slight minority that's growing. A minority is growing of young kids who are absolute savages, right? Who will take your life, and I'm not exaggerating, who do not play by any sort of rules, all right? Savages. And Savage would take your lady too, by the way. Obviously, the ladies will be chasing after savages as well. As well. So on a low level, all your lady gonna get snatched up by savages. On the upper level, if they got some money, which you do not have any money because you're a poor and broke and you're a little person dork, I'm gonna take your girl, and that's all. Not me. I'm saying the rich guys. That's how they're gonna be thinking. I'm gonna just take your girl, have my way with her, and then I'll send her back to you, but she's not even gonna want you. And that's how it goes. It's a very treacherous. What I'm trying to point out is very treacherous for ladies. That's what I'm trying to point out. So if it was a foreigner or if it was like a domestic person, still, you might should want to watch out for them. Okay? And I do bring solutions. I always bring solutions. I actually talked about it. I talked about it a long time before. Okay, and it just so happens to come up and be appropriate right now. Long before this ever happened, this Laken Riley incident, I told everybody, and I'm a grown man, to run with pepper gel. Okay, I'm not trying to sound like a genius. Oh, I'm so smart. Oh, look at these people, they're so dumb. Yeah, we're gonna have to learn. We're gonna have to learn, and I haven't learned the hard way, to be honest with you. I haven't learned the hard way. Is why I carry the pepper gel. You know, some people might have had something bad happen to them, then they start carrying the pepper gel. I carried it already. I just started carrying it already, just in case something pops off. I'm a 6 foot tall man, right? The likelihood of somebody trying me while jogging is very low, right? Because what are you going to rob me of? Or you're going to try and do what to me? It's like, doesn't make any sense. But I still run with a pepper gel because you never know. I always run with the pepper gel. It's got a wristband, you see. Strap it right to your wrist. You don't have to hold it while you're running. I think it's perfect. I don't know if there's something else that might be better as far as spraying hot pepper in someone's face. Might I go so further as to say while I'm on the subject, um, you shouldn't run around any damn where. All right, in America, I mean, there's some neighborhoods that are really, really nice. I'm saying you shouldn't run around anywhere, man or woman, without at least a pepper gel. I mean, it's affordable. You're in America, by the way. Have you ever heard of Walmart? Go to a Walmart and buy this for like $10, like $12. Okay, so it's like, oh, what you think you're me? Oh, you're so cool for not carrying pepper gel? Oh, you don't want to seem some certain, you don't want to seem scared or something like that. And then furthermore, while we're on the subject, I did want to suggest, and it doesn't matter because the ship's going down, but for anybody who might be considering it, I would suggest you're a lady, not even just the pepper gel. Yeah, you should have the pepper gel. It should be on your wrist. You should practice how fast you can pull it off your wrist and spray somebody in their eyeball. Okay, but if you're a lady, it's a little bit different situation. Probably should want to carry a firearm, I would imagine. Thought about all the different weapons that you could carry as a woman while running. Probably the firearm would be your best bet. I'm sure that there's all sort of different places that sell sidearms that you could carry while safely jogging and stuff like that. You want that because once you pepper gel someone in the face, let me suggest something for women, right? Even for men too, if you feel comfortable. You're jogging and whatnot, right? You're trying to get your fitness on, and that's wonderful. You're out in the nature, and that's great. Okay. Some maybe illegal alien or some other stinking pervert needs to be dealt with, but however, they roam the streets and they're fixing to attack somebody that just so happen to figure out to attack you. All right. So they're coming up on you. Maybe they're coming up on you like just to ask you a question. Oh, ma'am, can I please? I don't know. What's the time? Where am I? Can I get directions and stuff? All right. If they get within like say 15 feet, say, what the fuck are you doing? And say, hey, sir, back up. I got pepper gel. All right. And it's like, if you don't want to be like impolite, right? You don't want to say, hey, get the fuck back right now. Instead of saying that, you'd be like, hey, back up. I got pepper gel. All right. I'm spraying your eyeballs. All right. Don't please back up and talk to me 15 feet away. All right. I'm spraying eyeballs. And while you're saying that, you have the pepper gel. Be like, sir, I got it cocked back right now. I'm spraying eyeballs. I'm cocked back. All I got to do is squeeze, spray your eyeballs. It's like, dude. I mean, like, you see them, they're like 20 feet away. You get your hand on the pepper gel. They're like 15 feet away. You're taking out the pepper gel. They come to like 10, 12 feet away and be like, sir, pepper gel, spray in the face, all right? And if they keep coming, spray them in the face. Oh, I just told you pepper gel, I'm gonna spray you in the face. You kept walking towards me, I'm gonna spray you in the face? Yeah, I did. Now you're blinded. See, as a lady, you're probably gonna, yeah, as me as a man, I'm gonna have somewhat of an advantage if my opponent is blinded already. But as a woman, you still might not have an advantage. That's why you might want another weapon. That's why I suggested it. Okay. But might I also mention, because a lot of people, they'd be like, oh, we blame all these here incels. The great majority of incels are not violent and wouldn't bust a grape, right? For sure. And that's how they became incels. There's some, like, shout out to the man Aaron Bushnell, who they become psychotically violent, all right? So they might do something crazy that you didn't think that they were capable of. But might I point out as well, and I think this is where I'm going to side with the people who say this person shouldn't have been here. Because quite simply, it's like, okay, a certain percentage of the untold amount of people, millions, a certain percentage of those people are going to be bad actors. All right. Okay. So, or like, okay, so they're already established bad actors, but might I also point out, and it would hurt people's feelings, I'm sure, and people get all offended, I'm sure, but if you're inviting someone in your country, say a young man of military age, let's just say, as an example, you say, we're going to give you everything. If you come to our country, we're going to just give you whatever. You can have whatever. And we're going to take care of you. And you're not going to have to do nothing. And basically, for the most part, that's what they're saying. Now, whether or not this is true, it's probably not true. So they get here and they get free goodies. People are treating them like little pet and say, "Oh, good little immigrant person, I'm gonna give you some goodies. Here's some more goodies. Here's those goodies. Here's these goodies." See, the goodies do run out. All right, and then at a certain spot, they're illegal alien. They're looking around for some more free goodies, and guess what? The free goodies ran out. And so they're like, I'm in a country that invited me to illegally come. And you know it's illegal. You know it is. That's why you didn't do it before. They're like, dude, I just recently got released from jail, put on a boat or whatever. Now I'm in America and they're giving me free goodies. You got to think about the psychology, of course. Of course, that's going to breed a psychology of entitlement. And this is a country of, I can probably get away with stuff, get away with as much as I can, uh, a wild ride, have as wild ride as I can. And when I get caught, maybe I'll get out. I really don't know. I'm just going to get away with what. See, and that's the situation. So you should expect more illegal aliens to hop out of bushes and bash you in the head. You should, and if you don't, especially after this Laken Riley thing and everybody's like has been talking about it, if you don't expect an illegal immigrant to jump out of the bushes, bash you in the head, you're a freaking retard. All right. Of course they're going to start doing it, and you should be wary of men in general approaching you while you're jogging. Shouldn't be doing that. Or if they do that, hopefully it's all consensual and you know what I'm saying, it's organic. That's what I'm saying. I did mean to talk about that, and we do got to get up out of here pretty soon. But shout out to all my people, and I'm thinking I might be back here tomorrow. And if that is the case, I want to give y'all more warning. I want to be more regular with it. You damn parrot rattling around over there, shaking around like a dirty bird. Anyways, get up out of here. I gotta go to sleep, y'all. I got a job to do. I don't know if all what I just said was offensive, but it was the objective truth about the matter. Like what Laken Riley, which you didn't understand, but a lot of people aren't understanding and will never admit it to themselves. And they look at me and say, "Oh, you're exaggerating. Oh, you're getting all worked up." But Laken Riley didn't know is that she's in a war. She was jogging through a war zone. Oh, that's me exaggerating. You're in a war. And the issue is that you didn't know it. Like, if you were in a war, you wouldn't exactly go running around the trail not strapped, would you? No, because you're in a war. You're in a war zone. Even if you didn't want to run around the park, you would certainly go with backup, and you would certainly go strapped. You're in a war. right? It's very accurate, but a lot of people would love to believe it's not accurate. You're in a war. You might want to start thinking about that sort of, right? So, making moves in that kind of regard in America shouldn't be no problem. Just be strapped up wherever you go, right? I got to get up out of here. But next time we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Gosh, man, I can't really go looking around the internet right now. I can't really look around the internet, but there's this group of girls out there. You might have seen them. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one seeing them. I never know what stuff's viral. It's like, is it viral because I seen it, or has nobody else seen this? I don't know what's viral. So there's a group of three sisters, right? And I'll finish with this. We're going to talk about it more later. But there's a group of three sisters out there, and they form this country group. I believe the name of the band is like their last name. And I actually heard about them, and excuse me for not knowing their names. I only heard about them a while back. And since that time, they've been popping up on my X feed, my Twitter feed, my ex Twitter feed. Both times from two different people. The post was talking about these girls, this band. So it makes me wonder if you heard of them. And it's kind of hard if I don't know their name to ask you if you heard of them or not. But okay, so it's a country band. And it's three girls, and they seem to be sisters. You might know who I'm talking about. They're fresh, new on the scene. Um, country band, all right, and they got a single out. They might have a couple of singles out. All right, I'm not sure exactly, but one single that I heard before everybody started popping them up on my Twitter feed and all this, I'd heard of this band. You know, I was already aware of this band, and they had this one song called and it's the reason why I put it on the title. I was hoping to talk about it a little bit more. We're going to talk about it more next time. But it's a show called, or it's not a show. It's a song called "Distracted by this damn parrot." I'm going to find out what the hell it's doing. They're all sort of rattling over there. But yeah, okay. This one song by this country group, and it's called "Cowboy Kind of Love." You can look it up. I've been jamming it for a while. I don't know if that's their big single, but it's one of their big singles, and I've been jamming it for a while. It's called "Cowboy Kind of Love." And since I brought it up, might I just say, and we're gonna elaborate later, is that women, speaking in generalities, is definitely going to be exceptions to every rule. Okay, but speaking for the most part, women desire a cowboy kind of love. All right, cowboy kind of love, and we're going to talk about it next time, right? Because we don't have time to do it tonight. I got to get to bed. But women, and it's very important actually. Women need to be protected. Number one, which seems to be very important right now. They need to be taught how to protect themselves out in public. That's very important. Women, in general, speaking in general, I'm going to be simplistic. They want a cowboy kind of love. All right. If you don't know what I mean, go ahead and listen to the song. You're going to get an idea of what I mean. Women, and we're going to talk about it more later, and there's so much to talk about in regards to this. Women want a cowboy kind of love. Okay. And we're going to talk about more what that is later, but let me just say that these young men out here, the young ones that I see in their gender, it's just not exactly solid and defined. They are not cowboys. They do not look like cowboys. They do not act like cowboys or nothing like that. And it doesn't have to just be a cowboy. There's many different men out there who fit the role, the basic role and stereotype of a cowboy. These men out here ain't cowboys, and they're out here wondering why they're failing so hard. It's because you ain't cowboys, and you really need to think about that, right? I'll holler at y'all later. It is March the 4th. Mark it on your calendar. It's Donald Trump Day. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.